This is a quick demo on DCP OMATIC. I'll try to make it succinct. From the downloads folder, you see we have 3 file types. There's the 4K DCI, 4K UHD, and 4K DCI scope. So those we're going to work with in DaVinci Resolve, but we're also working with it in DCP OMATIC. Now DCP OMATIC only has 2 types, 2 aspect ratios. It will have scope or flat. So flat is the closest to UHD, 16:9 or 185, and there is no full. In DaVinci Resolve, you have the 3 different types available to you, so that's one advantage. But anyway, let's explore this. Now that I've downloaded the files, I will open DCP OMATIC. And DCP OMATIC, we will go into our applications folder and find it. DCP OMATIC is here. This is what it looks like. If you double click the icon, it will load. And it's loading, so this is DCP OMATIC. And it brings you to this screen. So the first thing you want to do is to create a new project. Let's call it DCP OMATIC. And we can browse to say where we want to create it in. So I'm putting a folder on my desktop. I'm just going to put it on the desktop and open that. And browse and say OK. So the first thing we want to do now is to import. We want to add a file. We're not adding a DCP. We're going to add a file. We're going to upload one of those DCPs here. Let's start with the scope. And so I'm opening the scope file. It's bringing it in. Here it is. And then what I want to do is to go to DCP. Now the DCP creates the naming conventions just automatically by the string here. We want to say the audio language, and it's English. The type is not a feature, it's a short. Not encrypted, it's a single reel. It's SMPTE, and it is DCI scope. So you can see it will create a 4K scope. You can have either 2K or 4K. And the 4K scope are these dimensions. Let's check the audio here. It says the channels are 6 to 5.1, and so it's looking for 5.1 surround sound. So we'll just assume that this has been either formatted or that it isn't. But anyway, the name of the DCP is going to be DCP scope and DCP OMATIC. Okay, DCP OMATIC. And now we are ready to run the job, make the DCP. It does take a bit of time. It says there's no hints, it's looking good, make the DCP. And we'll sort of see how long this takes given the size of this, which is a very short little piece that I gave you to work with. Sometimes it takes hours, so you need to leave adequate time to create these. Okay, looks like it's done. Let's hide DCP OMATIC and look at the desktop. My desktop is a bit of a mess here. But let's see where we find it. Here's the DCP OMATIC test, and you can see what's inside of it. You can't really open any of these things to test them. You just need to test it by bringing it back into DCP OMATIC or DaVinci Resolve to see if it plays correctly. You want to make sure that your DCPs are labeled properly. So what this should be, this one, the DCP OMATIC should say your last name. It should say 4K scope. And the name of the title of the film. So we'll just call this Fishing. Okay, so Black Box Film Festival, and programmers, people who are coordinating your screening at a festival or at the senior thesis showcase, need to have your last name, the file type or the aspect ratio, and the DCP, the name of your film. So that would be what you'd want to put on there. Let's rename this. We're going to still add fishing on this. So that's a little tutorial on DCP OMATIC.